Oh, yeah. We are live on YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
See who turns up, hey?
I'm not sending us live on Facebook. We've had 4 views, so I'm not bothering with that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
man.
talking.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting.
I'm going to need a clean glass. I'm going to need a clean glass.
Interesting beer.
Yeah. Let's see how we do on this one.
Right.
Right.
Interesting one to start us off.
You've got an interesting one to start us off.
Yeah.
Right then. Shall we start Audacity?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, click. Right then. I'll do the intro. Let you have a good vape. Remember to mute your microphone on Audacity when you're vaping, though, bud, yeah? I don't want to be spending 6 months editing this one.
I am normally very...
I mean, you're muted almost at the moment. Okay, right. 2 seconds silence, and then we'll give this a go. Okay, so... Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hop Edition episode commercial break number 8, maybe 9, I think it's 8. Sponsored by Brewcake Tap. Johnny at Brewcake Tap is an awesome fella with some incredible products. We really, really appreciate him supporting us as we go forth on this venture. So, Johnny, thank you very much. If you need anything, kegging, Firmzilla, basically anything from Kegland, hit Johnny up. He also does some fantastic other products which you really should check out. But if you need anything, taps or anything like that, Johnny, he is the place to go. brewcaketap.co.uk, I think. Yeah, superb bloke. Anyway, today's episode was meant to be about West Coast beers. Unfortunately, Tricky is not exactly feeling the best. As such, Owen is currently building a patio, so he's fairly tired. And I've had a day of just, it's been really hard barbecuing and building a greenhouse and, all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do this evening is we're going to have a couple of commercial beers that me and Owen have bought recently. And we are going to basically just enjoy those beers and talk about the competition and basically what's going off with the Hop Edition over the next couple of months, because we got some big stuff coming, haven't we, Owen?
We have indeed.
Yes. So, as we normally do on a commercial, we're gonna go straight into commercial beers. Now, I know for a fact that Owen is quite happy with the commercial beer that he currently has in his hand, and I haven't poured mine yet.
Yes, I am.
So I'm going to let Owen rock on this one, and I am going to pour my beer.
Ooh. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the intro, Chris. That was good. Gave me a chance to have a vape whilst I was on mute. So, Chris mentioned I've been doing some hardcore garden landscaping. I've laid approximately 10 meters squared of Indian sandstone patio today. So I am a little bit tired, but not too tired to have a couple of beers with my good mate, Chris. So I had to go and get some sand today, and I happened to just drive right past Unity Brewery. So I thought, and it was open because I think it was match day. I don't think it normally opens till 4 o'clock, but that's detail you don't need to know. So yeah, popped in, bought a few beers. In fact, I bought a bottle of their Riesling Wild Ale, which is a 7% wild ale that's been aged on Riesling grape must. And when you come down, Chris, at the end of the month, I would highly recommend trying that beer. When we're there, buy a couple of bottles because it's absolutely smashing. So I bought a bottle of that, and I bought some cans. So I'm currently drinking a beer called Dubby, which a throwback to the sort of era where you used to get a Dubby with your mate on the bike. It's a hazy pale ale, 4.5%, which kind of suits what I want to drink right now. Interestingly,
Owen, for the
Go on.
rest of the country, it's called a backy or a cog.
Oh, okay.
Not
down south, it's called a Dubby.
Yeah, Dubbies were called something else where I'm from. So,
as in like,
yeah, man.
All right, isn't that a doobie?
Yeah, but I never said that we were intelligent. Yeah.
I always knew it as a doobie, not a dubby. Anyway, two different things. So this is a hazy pale ale. What's interesting though, it's a hazy pale ale made with Bramling Cross. So that's Bramling Cross from Brookhouse Hops, which assumably Jimmy's got a contract with, based in Herefordshire. So they've doubled up the Bramling Cross and they've complemented it with Mosaic. So they're going for that kind of hedgerow berry plus hopefully the blueberry vibe coming out of Mosaic.
I'm really hoping there's some of that in cans when I get down to Southampton, because Bramling Cross, as you may remember from the Northern Monkey, is rapidly becoming one of my favourite hops.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about using it and kind of like you were talking about doing.
It got infected. I'm still on it. I'm still on it. It's on the list.
Because didn't you buy like an insane amount of Bramling Cross? You bought like an entire kilo, right?
It was only a kilo.
Only a kilo,
and it was only 17 quid.
Oh, Pablo Escobar down there.
Escobar.
It's only a kilo, mate. It's interesting because, like, typically I've always known Bramling Cross to be like either in a sort of bitter or a stout, because of course that's used in that Daya beer, that Daya porter, Hokum Stomp. Yeah, that goes heavy on the Bramling Cross, and this is obviously a really light kind of pale hazy pale ale. So I'm not sort of getting what I know Bramling Cross to be. It's actually just really light, refreshing, quite hoppy, but I'm just getting that kind of more sort of tropical vibe going on, which I suspect really is from the Mosaic, right? So I wonder if the Mosaic's kind of probably taking front and center.
Is the Mosaic but does the Mosaic taste stronger? Are you getting more of a flavour from the Mosaic?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so, like Mosaic's not exclusively, like, it's rare to get blueberry out of Mosaic, so Mosaic's going to just give you that slightly dank, like real tropical vibe, right? Sort of mango. I'm not getting loads of that sort of hedgerow thing going on. I'm certainly not getting any of the kind of English hop aromas and flavors that you like. Although Bramling Cross, you kind of get that berry note, you tend to also get a kind of herbaceous, slightly woody thing coming through. And I'm not getting any of that on this beer. Just smells amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna tuck in.
No, sounds like a plan, man. I mean, we've often talked on the podcast about using sort of, the more traditional hops, the more oldie worldy hops, let's say, your classic British, your classic German, your nobles, that kind of thing, to kind of bring some scaffold to elevate the flavors of the big Americans in a late hop. And it sounds to me, if you're getting some real big sort of tropical vibes from that, then that may be happening. But yeah, I'll judge that when I get down there, because that sounds like it's right up my strata.
Yeah, mate, I think you'd enjoy this. I mean, there's sort of relatively low bitterness. Bitterness kind of comes through like nearing the end, just sort of cleanses your palate in a sense. On the flavour, you do get more of the Bramling than you do on the aroma. But it's just a super pleasant session pale ale. Really, really nice.
And
But
we all know that's
it's
where money's
unity.
made.
It's unity. So, they're always going to be producing good beers.
And that is one of those things, isn't it? It's like you can produce a 7.5%, 45 gram per litre NEPA, but you're always going to sell more of a beer like that.
Oh, I think so. Especially like if you've got a tap room or you're selling to bars or pubs, right? Majority of people are going to swerve the 7-8% NEPA unless it's a proper craft beer place. But weirdly, I'm getting kind of quite a strong melon thing, like on the sort of, give it a minute.
On
it's
the exhale.
I'm just getting like a real melon thing, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a decent beer, man.
Mm.
Sounds like the kind of thing I'd go for.
I could have a session on that.
Well, 3 weeks, mate. 3 weeks. Or 2
Rock
weeks.
solid.
2.5 weeks.
Rock solid. So that was probably the slightly more boring beers of the 2 beers that I've got to drink. So I think the other one might be a little more exciting.
Well, you know me. I'm from Yorkshire, and I love to have a good moan. And guess what? I'm going to have a good moan right now. Right? Me and my little boy and my little girl, we had to have an emergency trip to Morrison's because pork was on sale, right? And we needed some pork loin to be able to make some bacon. And we cruised in there, we picked up the bacon, and it's rude to not swerve by the beer aisle on your way back to the checkout after you've bought the kids chocolate and stuff, right?
Correct.
Treats, you buy them a present.
Treats all round.
Got to get a present for me, okay? So I swerved in, and I have to say, I was taken by not only the colour, but the name and the supposed flavour of North Brewing Co.'s Pinata, 4.5% mango and guava pale ale. Now, Pinata. Now, very for those good of you who know me, I vape, and guapple is one of my favourite flavours. And also Tropicoil, right? So mango in this one. And obviously guapple is guava and apple. I'm a big fan of guava. I love the flavour. I'm also a big fan of mango. I use it in my hot sauces. I use it quite a lot in cooking. Big fan. 2 are going to work together. Let's give this one a go. I also read the back of the can. 4.5% real mango and guava fruit with Citra, Azaka, and Mosaic.
Nice
what combo. Could possibly go wrong?
Did you say it was a sour? Is it a sour?
No, it's not a sour. Did I say sour? Because if I did say sour, I didn't mean sour.
No, I don't think you did. I was just clarifying.
So with the Citra, the Azaka, the Mosaic, sessionable, crushable, and the key, exploding with flavour, right? I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give that one a pop. I only bought the 1 can because there was only 1 can on the shelf. I checked the date. The date's good. 10th of the 5th. So, any hot burn's going to have died down. Everything in my Morrison's is kept in a fridge now. So, cold store and all that sort of stuff.
That's cool. That's cool to see.
Yeah. And then I poured it out. And look at the colour. It's a lovely little Merc bomb. Yeah. And then I drank it and it's shit.
That's a surprise because North Brewing normally put out some good beer.
All I can taste is Citra.
Really?
All I can taste. I've got grapefruit. I've got a hint of lemon. I've got no guava. And guava has a very, very distinct flavour. Right? They've got that almost sour, sharp, kind of makes your mouth water kind of flavour from a guava. None of that. Absolutely none of that.
Did you give the can a little swirl near the end?
I did. I gave it a proper swirl.
Because that's the thing with some fruited beer, especially when they can. Sometimes it all just settles to the bottom and sticks to the bottom.
No, I swirled well. I'm a swirler. And I have to say, I am disappointed in this
Right.
beer. If they hadn't pimped it as tropical fruits and all that sort of stuff, I mean, I'd have been happy with this as just a Citra Pale. But they pimped it. They said, it's got mango and guava in it, and it's got Azaka, which everybody who's had like the A word that I made knows Azaka is pineapple straight in your face. The faintest hint. Mosaic gives you that tropical. It gives you even more of that kind of mango, and it gives you the blueberry, and it gives you, that kind of tropical island kind of flavor. And I'm not really getting very much of that. All I'm getting is Citra. It's disappointing, this beer.
Sad times.
It's drinkable, don't get me wrong. If you ignore the can completely and just say it's a 4.5% pale with Citra in it, it's a decent beer. But considering what it's supposed to be, I am not impressed at all.
Another one of the craft beer marketing traps.
I fell for it.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I bought 3 bottles of Budvar and that was the cheapest, so I got it for no.
Yeah, happy days. So it was pretty reasonable then. What, £2 a can or something like that?
Yeah, and even on the nose, there's this faint hint of mango. Nothing else. I get a little bit of the Citra. I don't understand this beer. I mean, I reckon they've got the hopping rates really badly wrong. I reckon they're way too heavy on the Citra. I reckon they are probably way too light on the Azaka and the Mosaic to get any kind of balance. And to be fair, I've always found, and you can argue with me as much as you want, and I know that the vast majority of the craft beer world will, but I think that Citra and Mosaic, when they're put together, it needs to be a minimum of twice as much Mosaic as Citra in order to get any kind of balance of flavour.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, whenever I've made a Citra Mosaic beer, I've always just gone 50-50. But yeah, I think Citra is an aggressive, dominating hop.
Very much so.
As much as I love it, I do love Citra. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Citra. But
as Andy's just pointed out in the chat, the Azaka would need to be heavily hopped. If you would need probably 15% Citra, probably 20% Mosaic, and the rest Azaka to get any kind of flavour from it.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think Azaka's definitely it's a tasty hop, but it's not going to stand up 1-to-1 with with Citra, right? And equally, I think Mosaic. I think Mosaic does the prominent flavour. I think of Mosaic is probably the dank. That's what probably for me comes through.
What you mean, that kind of resinous base?
Yeah, sort of almost like it's kind of sort of a weedy sort of
skunky smell.
Skunky, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a bit of that skunk on the nose.
Yeah, I suspect. Yeah, sometimes Citra can give you that as well, but that's kind of hallmark of Mosaic, really, isn't it?
I'm disappointed in that beer. Considering all that it promised, I think that they have left me underwhelmed. It's a beautiful can, though.
I hope. Well, it is. That's what sold it, basically.
It's a good-looking can, you know. I fell for
good can art.
I fell for the fake tits again, didn't I?
You did.
It's not hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hook, line, and sinker, mate. Hook, line, and sinker.
And fucking swallowed half the rod as well.
You're done.
Yeah.
Anyway, man. I hope your follow-up beer is going to be better.
I'll give you a brief. I'll give you that.
Nice.
And that's all I'm giving you.
I did notice the new glass, the new Polly's glass.
What? This one? This glass? Yeah, I mean, I don't know where that one came from. You know. No, I'm not going to completely slate North Brewing because I've had their stuff from their tap room, and it's very, very good beer generally. But this one has left me underwhelmed. Superb name, great can art, promise of all kinds of things, and then you're like Wayne Rooney, aren't you, shagging a granny? Anyway,
I think he's got problems, man. That lad, he has got problems.
I mean, yeah,
How he's managed to stay married, I don't know.
I don't know.
Obviously, she likes the money, but
I mean, I wouldn't want to libel myself in any way, shape, or form. I happen to think Wayne Rooney's a fantastic footballer. But yeah, I can see what you're saying and why you're saying it. I'll be honest.
I don't know about supermarket beers. Like, hand on heart, can't remember the last time I bought a craft beer in a supermarket. I just tend to find, I don't know what it is, but breweries just tend to stock pretty mediocre beers in the supermarket.
Yeah, they do.
Because you're appealing to a different section of the market, aren't you? You're appealing to kind of the mass beer drinker that's feeling a bit fruity on a Friday night. Oh, maybe I'll check out the craft beer section as opposed to my usual.
Yeah. Oh, look. There's these flash cans from Drygate. I'll give them a go.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Venturing out, which, all to them. That's great. Yeah. Hopefully it will start them on a journey of better beer, but
they are gateway beers, aren't they?
Yeah, but most of the time it's literally like you'll just have a whole load of pale ales, right? Sometimes there's the odd sour, maybe a couple of dark beers, but yeah. I'm a craft beer snob.
Do you want a flake with that?
I would like a flake if you've got one.
That looks very red. Has that first beer gone down and not even touched the sides?
No, it's gone.
All right. Well, can you ease up just a little bit? Because we have some important business to take care of. Because in 2 weeks and 6 days, there's something happening, isn't
there? What's that then? Is it Christmas?
I mean, it's borderline.
Borderline Christmas. Nearly as good as Christmas.
It is nearly, well, I mean, yeah, it's almost as good as Christmas as far as I'm concerned. So what's happening in 2 weeks and 6 days, Owen?
I think there might be something happening in Southampton, Chris.
There possibly is something happening in Southampton, yes.
Something to do with beer?
I think it's more to do with brisket burgers and sausages.
And beer.
And lots of beer. And Miguel Vergara brisket.
Oh, yeah.
And some esquites. And Jimmy from Unity Brewing.
And maybe a cheeky homebrew competition.
And maybe a cheeky little homebrew competition. So
I'm very excited. Yeah, I mean, it's not too long now, right? I think, I'm not even sure. Have we closed entries now?
Entries are closed. You can no longer register, but you can, it would appear, pay for your entries should you have registered one still.
Yeah, I don't think we've got too many people that have entered a beer and not paid. 5 people.
5 people.
5 people. I think they're going to get culled off pretty soon, aren't they? But
I am merciless.
I hope that all our listeners have, or that for those that have entered, have already brewed their beers or are planning to brew their beer very soon, because they need to be posted probably week commencing 25th.
That's about right. So just to give you some stats, we have 72 participants with entries. We have 65 paid entries so far. So theoretically, we could gain another 7 beers to judge at this wonderful competition. And you know what I want to do right now is we've got this little podcast that we're doing at the moment, this little commercial. I want to say a big thank you to all of the sponsors who are helping us out with this competition, because for us this is a first. You know, we spoke to Jimmy when we did the interview with him on the podcast, and we kind of floated the idea in the after party, and it's just ballooned and blossomed from there. And Unity Brewing Company are helping us out. Jimmy is hosting us, and man's a legend. The Malt Miller have been superb with us, offering advice, offering an amazing prize, helping us out with some advertising on their social media channels and stuff. Brewcake Tap, Johnny, again, stepped up to the plate. He's helped us out a load. The guys at Brew Day via Tricky, those boys are helping us out as well. You know, they've contributed some prizes. The guys at Cross Maloof in Scotland, a kilo of hops, guys. A kilo.
And
know?
not only a kilo, but isn't it a kilo of your choosing?
I don't know if it's a kilo of your choosing. I think it's a kilo of whatever they've got that's freshest.
Oh, okay.
But that means that, I mean, I know those boys turn over some hops, so whatever you get is going to be fresh.
Kilo Magnum.
Probably a kilo of... No, it's not going to be a kilo of Magnum. Yakima Chief, they've actually said to me that it's going to be a mixture of hops. So it'll be 100-gram packs, but it'll be various hops.
Nice.
Yakima Chief, Robbie Harrigan, the legend, one of the best podcasts that we've had in a long, long time. He's turned around and he's gone, I'm going to help you out. And also, I'm going to try and get down there and be a judge. Which
He's
is
a legend.
BrewCon is Simon Pickler, isn't it?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Simon is helping us out. He's donated a couple of tickets. So if you win those, guess what? You get to go to BrewCon for free.
Yeah, it's going to be
You
amazing.
And a mate.
Plus, BrewCon, I think, have got a homebrew competition of their own.
They have.
So
that's not too far away either, is it? It's about 5-6 weeks ago.
September, I think.
Yeah, it's not too far away, that one.
September.
The guys at Inkbird have stepped up as well. They're going to throw in some goodies. And Muntons, they've stepped up. Tricky went down there for a visit, tapped them up, asked them if they'd help out, and they've agreed to help us out with some prizes and some bits and bobs as well. So we have made huge inroads into this competition kind of field, and our sponsors are amazing, every single one of them, and I'm really happy with the way that things have gone. I think that this is going to be a good one, Owen.
It's going to be amazing, and I think for our inaugural homebrew competition, and I say first because I think there would be at this point a desire to want to do it again.
Oh, absolutely.
At least once a year, I think, and whether that's in conjunction with another brewery or whatever, who knows what the future holds. But I think the fact that this is our first one, we've done incredibly well with sponsors. Yeah. We've got some absolutely amazing prizes and an amazing number of entries. And I think considering the number of other homebrew competitions that are going on, I think, all the way through COVID, very few homebrew competitions going on for obvious reasons. And since things have kind of calmed down, there's just been an absolute flurry of homebrew competitions. You had, I think it was the ACB homebrew competition judged today. So that's the Anglican homebrew community. I think that's what it is. Elusive did their 6th birthday competition. When did they? That was yesterday, I think. So there's a lot of different competitions going on. So I think it's just a big shout out to anyone that's entered. Thanks very much for supporting the podcast and supporting Unity. If you haven't already, get on Unity's website, order some beers. I'm drinking Unity beers tonight, and hand on heart, I can say that they're amazing.
I would agree. I've had some Unity beers. I decided to order some Polly's this time around because it's a brewery that I've only had one beer from, and that was at the London Craft Beer Festival last year.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. It was a very good beer. But next ordering will go through Unity. I guarantee you I'm going to be going back on the train on that Sunday with a massive hangover, a full belly, and at least a couple of crates of beer.
Yeah.
That's
as
pretty
much beer as you can carry, basically.
It's going to be a given. That is going to happen. So, yeah. One last thing that we haven't shouted out on this little podcast is our Patreons. I want to say a huge thank you to the guys who are Patreons of this podcast because, trust me, I can't give you details right now, But there are going to be some episodes and some videos coming up from us guys, probably within the next 3 to 4 months, that you Patreons are going to have made happen. Okay? There are going to be some videos and some podcasts and some information and some people that we're going to be talking to that would not have happened had it not been for the Patreons supporting this podcast. So, our latest Patreons, Chris Senior, David Jackson, Eust, who I happen to know is live in the YouTube chat at this moment in time. Eust, top lad, drives a truck like no other. And Jesper, or J-Fork as he is known, who's also in the chat right now, who we got a chance to talk to. And I've realised who it is who he reminds me of. And it's Base Hunter. So,
Base Hunter.
Yeah.
It was nice to actually. It was. You know, Jay Fawkes supported the podcast for a long time. Often jumps into the after parties, but he's not had a video feed. It's only ever been audio, and he finally came on with videos. So we all got to see what he looks like, and it was great. It was great.
It was superb. He's a good lad. But he does look like he should be, singing about a bot called Anna. Which, if you're familiar with any of the Base Hunter songs or you're a complete geek like me, you would know that one. Bot and Anna. Just do a search on Spotify for it. B-O-T-E-N.
I'll trust you. I'll trust
Anna.
you on that.
Yeah. It's a good one. We've got some amazing people supporting the podcast. We've got an amazing following. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So I'm super happy with the way that things are going. Just to tease them a little bit more, Owen. Who did we? I mean, you went to a festival not long back, last week before.
Well, yeah, it's 2 weeks ago. I think it wasn't last weekend. The weekend before, yeah. Exciting times.
You tapped up a few people, didn't you?
I did. So I actually went down to Sussex, which is a little down the coast towards Brighton in the UK. I went to a festival called These Hills, which was Beak Brewery organised the festival. It was the first festival that they'd run, and it was based in the South Downs. So the South Downs is kind of, it's just a big rolling hills, green, beautiful place. And this festival was amazing. Like, they had all these teepees set up, and then huge marquee, well, not marquees, kind of like just cool tents. And it just had a real like proper festival vibe going on, like hay bales, and they had a big like campfire, and they were just pouring some amazing beer as well. So like, just all the great breweries were there. I managed to catch up with Miranda from Duration. I saw Jimmy there. There was loads of really good like Spawn and mixed firm beers being poured. So the Little Earth Project was there. Quite a few others. There was a brewery from, I think, Estonia. There was breweries from the US. There was breweries from Australia. And hasten to add, myself, Brett, and Graham, who I believe are both Patreons, enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed ourselves greatly, apart from the fact it pissed it down about 10 p.m. But everyone was so half cut that they didn't really care. And I managed to get chatting to quite a few different people. So I was chatting to Ross from Flock. If you've not any Flock beers, like, they're just on point. Like, if you like hazy beers, Flock are just amazing. Like, relatively new brewery. I've probably drunk a couple of the beers on the podcast, commercial breaks. So I was chatting to him. He was a legend. I was chatting to guys at Unbarred. I was chatting to some guys from Track. And who else was I talking to? Loads of other breweries. And
who else was there? Well, I mean, if I just name some breweries, tell me if they were there. Was Daya there?
Daya was there.
Track obviously was there. Unbarred was there. Lost Pier?
No, Lost Pier weren't there.
That's a shame.
Unbarred weren't there, actually. Unbarred weren't pouring. I was just chatting to, I think it was the guy called Brett, who's the marketing manager.
All right. Okay.
And who else was there? Verdant was there. North
Cloudwater?
Brewing was there. Cloudwater was there. Everyone was there. It was amazing.
So just for our listeners who are in the UK, would you recommend a visit to these hills?
Yeah, I absolutely would. Like, it's going in the diary for next year. Well, I hope that they do it next year. But if they do, I'm sorely tempted to do both days.
Oh, it's that kind of festival,
Yeah,
is it?
so it's. I think they did a Friday evening session, and then they did a Saturday day session, and then a Saturday evening session. So I'm not sure I could hack doing the Saturday day and Saturday evening session.
I mean, you are getting old.
I'd just be broken, but I reckon I could do Friday night and Saturday night.
I mean, that would be pretty cool. I will definitely be adding that one to the diary as, you know, something for me to get down south and experience.
You really should. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I guess the only issue I kind of had with it wasn't a free pour festival.
Oh, so it was an expensive festival.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't crazy. I mean, it was 25 quid to get in, and you got a really nice glass, and they give you enough tokens to buy like a beer. But that's 25 quid plus, for entry as well. And then I probably spent about 40 quid, I think. But I think you could easily spend about 60, I'd thought.
That's not bad at all. I mean, 40 quid ain't bad, but I mean, I generally budget 80 quid for a night out, but normally 30 of that's pizza.
Yeah, so talking of food, like Brett, who I was with, someone told him that the shin of beef mac and cheese from one of the food outlets was amazing, right? So Brett and I went and ordered it, and it was the smallest mac and cheese I've probably ever seen in my life. And I'm not too sure if a shin of beef really went anywhere near it. It was like they somehow managed to turn the sort of meat shin of beef kind of sauce into like dust. I don't quite know how they've managed it.
I mean, that's fucking up a perfectly good shin of beef, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like there was I couldn't even tell whether it was meat.
I mean,
anyway, it was 10 quid.
The way that I look at it is this:
Unbelievable.
if I turned up with like 40 kilos of brisket ground, would I make money on the burgers? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the burgers, I think were a tenner.
That's expensive for a burger.
Yeah, burger and fries. But, you know, cost of living crisis, mate.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it would have probably cost them 200 quid in petrol to get there.
Probably.
Yeah.
But it was cool. We had a lot of fun walking back because it was quite a long walk, like not a super long walk, probably about 10, 15 minutes, like walking from the festival to where you could kind of get picked up or dropped off.
Right.
And at this point, like when we're leaving, about 11 o'clock, it's absolutely pouring down. And Brett was so smashed. He was like, it's snowing. It's snowing. And we're like, it's warm snow. It was.
There's something wrong with you boys, isn't there, when you're that drunk?
We had a lot of fun.
Sounds like a blast, man. So
good.
yeah. So we've got 2 weeks and 6 days until we all converge on Southampton and drink Owen's bar dry. And then there's going to be some judging, and we've got our resident AV specialist, Mr. Andy Lynch, the legend who's currently in another time zone, quite literally. We've got him coming with all of his gear, so there's going to be some video from the day. Hopefully, we might even be able to tap Jimmy up and get a camera set up so that we can have some live streaming of this as it's going off. And then the prizes, man. check out the Hop Edition page and just have a look at the prizes. And me and Owen were talking the other day, and those prizes have just had what's the correct way to call it, Owen? They've been what do they call it? Enhanced, finessed, and enhanced. So yeah, there's if you have an entry that you haven't paid for yet, pay for your entry, because trust me, this is the best prize fund I have seen for a homebrew competition ever.
Well, definitely for considering the size, the scale of the homebrew competition.
No, for me,
Really?
for my
Yeah.
because I don't really pay that much attention to homebrew competitions. They're all a fucking ballet contest. This one, however, the best tasting beer will win. It's as simple as that. You know, we don't care. You may end up in a group with your Hefeweizen against a hazy pale and a fucking sour, right? And whichever one tastes best, that's the one that's going to go through to the next round. Or if it's the final, that's the one that's going to win. We want you to be expressive with your beers, and we really want to taste the heart and soul and the gumption of your brewing. We want to feel your brewing in your beer. That's what we want. So we've chunted on for 20 minutes there, Owen. I imagine your beer's either gone or getting warm. So
it's still in the glass, and it's still cold. So
in that case, I'm not going to
use.
I'm not going to use this one because it would be dirty to use the same glass for two beers.
It would be. It would be.
And luckily for me, I have a shitload of glasses up on a shelf.
How many of the Polly's beers have you drunk so far? What you ordered?
None.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
So this is going to be my first Polly's beer going into a glass right now.
Since London Craft Beer Festival, which was August last year.
Mate.
I mean, like their sort of identity is generally super hoppy, super hazy. You know, they kind of specialize in that field.
I'm getting a little touch of sulfur on the nose.
And I'm a big fan of Polly's. Drunk quite a lot of their beers, I don't think they've ever disappointed. But I think it is a case of like, if you like hazy beers, then great. But if you're like into other sorts of beers, then you know maybe there are better breweries. But
I'm just going to prick tease the crowd with that.
Oh, nice can art as well. That's sort of like that can art sort of makes me think it might be a dark beer, though. To be honest,
as soon as I saw it, I thought, shit, have I ordered this particular hop in a stout? And then I pour it and it's that.
Yeah. It's just a Merc bomb,
mate. Do your beer, man.
Do my beer. I'm super excited about this beer. In fact, this is the beer that made me stop at Unity because I really wanted to try it. It's called El Scorcho.
Scorcho!
Not quite Scorcho, but El Scorcho. And it says, for those rare moments in British sunshine, and for everyone that's listening, today has been an absolute scorcher here in the south of the UK. And I've been out in it all day. So this is inspired by strawberry margaritas made with mezcal. So this is a strawberry mezcal margarita goza. And it is made with agave syrup, lime zest, strawberry puree, and smoked salt. And the colour's really nice. So it's kind of a hazy pink, slightly kind of orangey pink kind of thing. Almost like pink lemonade. It's probably the sort of closest description I might give it. Amazing head retention.
I like pink lemonade.
On the nose, definitely getting the lime, and the mezcal, you're definitely getting margarita.
Tequila.
Which is awesome. And I'm a big fan of mezcal. kind of a fruitiness, right? I think maybe the lime zest is probably coming through more on the nose than the strawberry. Well, the strawberry's there. Chris, how would you describe the sort of smell of strawberry? It's sort of a...
They smell sweet.
They do.
Just generally, that's how strawberries smell. You know, they are one of the most delicate fruits on earth. A strawberry can go off in under 6 hours.
And they're quite easily squashed as well.
I find raspberries to be more delicate.
I'm quite lucky here in Hampshire, which is kind of synonymous with the strawberry, actually. This is got high risk of becoming quite a boring tangent. But there's absolutely loads of strawberry fields around where I live. So like strawberry picking and stuff is always a fun activity with the kids. I remember going as a kid and literally eating as many strawberries as you possibly could, whilst not really filling the container that you actually pay for.
No, just eating them all.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you want to go to a pick your own to eat them.
You sort of turn up with this, like, basically, like, massive red lips. And you're like, and they say, "Did you eat any?" And you're like,
fucking ate a shitload, mate.
No.
Only about 4 kilos, dickhead.
Your chin is basically just, stained red. Anyway, I've got very distracted. So anyway, the strawberry, it does smell. There's hints of strawberry. It's got that kind of sweet strawberry thing going on, but not like a fake strawberry thing.
Like a real strawberry.
Yeah, they use proper strawberry, which is amazing. So I'm going to dive in.
I should hope you've already dove in.
I have. So it's not super sour. It's just like the sourness for me is perfect. It's not mouth puckering, but it is sour. It is the sour and salt balance really, really nicely. And you just get bags of strawberry on the flavour. It just goes on and on. It's like strawberry jam almost. Absolutely amazing beer. Super impressed with that. I think strawberry's a hard thing to get into beer. It's so easily dominated. I think you have to use quite a lot of it.
We both know a brewer who's managed to do a really good strawberry beer, and that's Deck. His strawberry Hefe was banging.
I think it is possible to do, but I think it's not easy to do.
No, it takes a special kind of brewer to utilize strawberries effectively, because even though strawberries, when you eat them on their own, they are very flavoursome. It's a flavour that's easily dominated. It's very one-dimensional, but it is. If you get it right, it's a bloody lovely flavour.
Yeah, I think strawberry is probably one of those fruits that you might want to use in a style that doesn't tend to have a lot of hops.
Strawberry Pilsner.
Yeah, so you really want to put it in like, Goza or a sour or a lager perhaps, or something that's not going to like be battling with or at risk of being dominated by fruit hop flavors and aromas. And I think Chris, you would enjoy that. Although I know you're not a big fan of Gozas, but
no, I don't do salty beer.
Yeah, well, it's not super salty. It's well balanced, but I would recommend you try it. It's really good.
I will. I'm coming down in a couple of weeks, mate. I will be trying it.
It was literally canned 3 days ago.
Banging.
Nice.
Jimmy's a good lad to you, isn't he? He treats you well.
He does. Yeah, he wasn't there, unfortunately. I didn't get a chance to catch up with him, but his bar staff were very friendly, and she was chatting to me about the wild ale that I bought.
Sweet.
Saying how amazing it was.
It's often underlooked how important it is to have a knowledgeable bar staff.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
the last thing that you want is somebody whose previous job was working at Lidl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, you sort of get, you go into a bar and you're like, yeah, well, what's good? And they go, oh, I don't know, I'm not really into beer. You go, oh, okay.
I'll find another barman, dickhead.
Yeah, I'll have the bitter, please.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want. So,
Well,
can I do mine?
Yeah, you can, but I really need to use the loo.
Go for it.
All right.
I'll wait.
You can chat about something else.
I'll wait. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll explain to them the differences between ionic covalent and metallic bonding.
Perfect. I think that will definitely excite our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm really not. What I'm going to say is, we're really looking forward to the next couple of months because we have some big guests lined up for you. Entertainment must be finished. Right. Andy must be at some sort of all you can eat, all you can do, all inclusive holiday resort or something. So over the next couple of months, we have been in contact with, I'm not going to give names, but I will say several large breweries in order to try and get people to come on the podcast and talk to us. I've been tapping up yeast manufacturers. I've been tapping up loads of other people. And we have been getting some bites. And all of this is made possible by our Patreons. So, like I say, I can't name any names, but let's just say that certain people on the podcast are going to be very, very happy with some of the guests that we have who've agreed to join us. Also, one thing that I do want to say is as we move forward over the next, call it 8 to 10 weeks, podcasts may be happening on a Wednesday, and there won't be much of an after party on a Wednesday because Tricky's missus has to work, Owen's at work, Andy obviously works occasionally. So the Wednesday podcasts will be, yeah, absolutely. So the Wednesday podcast will be more of a short, sharp, to the point kind of thing. But we do want to continue to give you guys content, especially over the summer months. We realize that, unlike me, people don't have 7.5 weeks off in the summer. So some people, you're still going to be traveling to and from work. And I know that we get listened to a lot in the morning and on the drive home. So we have some big things coming down the pipeline, obviously with the competition and everything going off. And also, we're not that far from 50 episodes. So we're going to be doing a Q&A episode for episode 50. And I really hope that we can get some questions off you guys because we've really, really, really enjoyed the previous Q&A episodes that we've done. Especially Owen with his ability to spurt beer out of his nose.
No, I prefer if we can avoid that in future podcasts, but
I don't think we will.
Occasionally, the
needs must.
Needs must, yeah. Sometimes things get funny.
Yeah.
Just when you take a sip of beer.
Absolutely, they do.
What are you going to do?
They do. It's one of them things that just happens, Owen. Not at all my comedic timing. So anyway,
good, to be fair,
Owen is back. As such, I can stop rambling. And I'm going to talk about this beer by Polly's, which is a 4.8% pale ale called Nelson.
What hop do you reckon is in there?
I think it's all Saz. No. This thing is fucking stunning. Right? Brooksy, your N-word, mate. Yeah. It's a little step up from your N-word, but it is absolute. It's a stink bomb. I put it there. I go, and I can smell the hops. This is fantastic flavor, straight up. As soon as you get it to here, it's like, ooh, I can smell it. I can smell that Nelson. And then you go, wave after wave of tropical fruit with a lime backbone that just kind of sits there. I've been dead to you for a while, Brooksy, I'll be honest. It's just wave after wave of that tropical fruit. I'm getting hints of like mango. I'm getting hints of like papaya. I'm getting a lime kind of undertone. I'm getting a little bit of that citrus. And I know that there is a lot of hops in here because you can taste the hop, right? Those of you who've had the super hoppy, mega hoppy, like blended hop type beers will know you can taste the hop at the same time as being able to taste all the flavors that come from the hop. It's not massively green, but holy shit, this is some beer.
Is it kind? It's kind of almost like there's like a vegetal sort of presence, almost like just a hot matter.
Yes,
flavor, right?
But the color of it doesn't suggest any greenery in there. It's very much it looks like slightly cloudy pineapple juice, right? This is one hell of a beer. This is fan-freaking-tastic.
I think if you're enjoying that, you're in for a treat with whatever else they shoved in the box.
That is an absolute banger. I'm so glad I bought 5 cans of that.
You bought 5 cans of that? Nice.
I bought 5 cans of that.
How many beers did you buy from Polly's?
16.
16. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean, I went all in because I wanted to hit the 60 quid to get the free delivery.
I bet you it was a lot more than 60 quid.
No, it weren't. It was £61.25p or something, or 28p.
It's pretty good for 16 beers.
Yeah, I didn't go for any of the dippers and tippers and impies and all that sort of stuff. I stuck specifically to my wheelhouse. I am very glad there's another 4 cans of that in that fridge.
Boom. You're all over it.
It's superb. And I didn't mean to disrespect my man Brooksy because the N-word is a fantastic beer. But I don't know what these guys have done, but I think it's about 5 times the hopping rate that you did, mate.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
So clearly you need to up your game. If you're not using a kilo for your dry hop, clearly you're not on the same on the same field.
To be fair, different styles really, like
it's beautiful.
Yeah. Is it fair to say that the N-word was more of like
it's more of a golden ale.
Golden ale? Yeah. As opposed to like that's like a
super dank bomb.
It's like a session Nipah almost, really, isn't it?
It is. It's very, very, very good. I'm not going to disrespect the N-word in any way, shape, or form, and I still stand by my review that I did just before Christmas on my YouTube channel, which has seen no activity since, whereby Brooksy's N-word was the best homebrewed beer I had last year.
Yeah, you were raving about it.
It's a great, great beer. But it just goes to show Nelson as a hop is phenomenal.
It's probably one of my favorite hops.
I love it, and I have a theory, and I'm going to share it with the group. Okay,
you love a theory, don't
you? I do. I have 1 kilo.
Is that a hypothesis?
No, it's a theory.
It's a theory. Oh.
Yeah, it is that I have 1 kilo of 2021 Nelson currently sitting in my freezer.
Right.
Because if you're buying hops in less than a kilo, are you even trying, bro?
You're not even a home brewer.
You're pretending. That's what you're doing. You're pretending. I think if I was to use something noble and reminiscent of a piece of jewelry as a base, I think Nelson is going to shine even brighter.
Reminiscent of a piece of jewelry?
Pearl.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
I am linguistically fucking superb. I'll have you know. I think
I'm just a little off my pace tonight.
yeah, you would have got that any other night. I think Pearl as a base, a 60-minute and maybe a 30-minute edition of Pearl, and then Nelson going heavy from about 15 minutes, maybe a 15-minute, a 5-minute, a Whirlpool and a dry hop of Nelson. And I think that hop would shine even brighter. The characteristics of Pearl with that kind of floral, borderline peppery, I think that would make that hop shine even brighter.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
And that's to fucking brew that shit, right?
Have you brewed this week so far, since you've been on holiday?
I've been on holiday since yesterday.
Well, what, do you even brew, bro?
I try, but I have kids and a wife and a need to build a greenhouse.
Life.
I know. It's shit, isn't it? What can we say?
You occasionally get to make beer.
I occasionally get to make beer. I am brewing.
You get to talk to me.
All next week, mate, I'm brewing.
Be nice. When was the last time you brewed?
February.
No, shut up.
February.
No, you've made a beer since then, haven't you? It's just you dumped it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. I brewed in early March, and that one had to go down the drain. Because basically it sat in the fermenter for, well, until 2 weeks ago when I discovered it and went, oh, shit.
Bummer.
And I had to drain pour that one.
Sometimes life just gets in the way.
That's the story of my life. You know, I'm used to doing everything in short sprints.
Oh, man. I've been brewing quite a lot lately, but only because I wanted to make Conflux, right? Because as many of you know, they're due to release the kit from the Montwiller in conjunction with Unity. So they're going to be doing, I think, some stuff around brew along with us. That's the Montwiller.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Montwiller's kind of monthly drop. Which I'm pretty sure that they are recording or have recorded, which is cool. And so I wanted to make that, obviously, because I'd scaled the recipe from Jimmy and then given it to the malt miller. So we needed to just check if it was actually made a good beer. So I had to make that. Then I had my elusive competition beer. I had to make that, which was a West Coast black IPA. And then
a Westy Bipper. Banging.
With Strata.
Mate.
Yeah. It's tasting pretty good, to be fair.
Going to be some of that shit left in 2 weeks.
Yeah, there's loads of it, mate. I've literally taken 3 bottles off it and probably had about a pint.
Okay,
so
Owen.
There'll be plenty there, mate. Don't worry.
So you're picking me up from the station at about 11:23.
Correct.
What's the journey time from Southampton Central to your house?
At that time, 12 minutes.
Then you're gonna have to bottle some and have it in the car.
I'm sure that can be arranged. And then, of course,
just bring a growler.
Because
you're going to be picking me and Brooksy up, so we're going to need a pint for the journey.
I'll just bring an intravenous drip for you to hook up to. And then I had to brew persistently bitter, obviously, because with you lot coming in 2.5 weeks' time,
your handball's going to get some abuse.
Yeah, so I'd say I did double batch of persistently bitter, and then you've been whinging about the fact that I haven't got any lagers on.
That's true.
So I've been like packing in all this brewing, whilst
building,
landscaping a garden, and I started a new job about 5 weeks ago.
It's a really fucking good job that the fat bloke's turning up to cook, innit?
I reckon I'm just going to be on my arse by the time you actually all arrive. I'm just going to
Mate.
be like, I'm so tired.
You know I got you covered, don't you?
Yeah, we need to. I appreciate it, Chris. I appreciate it.
I got you covered, fam.
It's going to be an exciting weekend.
It's going to be good.
Anyway.
So, we've said everything that needs to be said tonight. I mean, what do you reckon?
I think so. A little over an hour. That was what we were shooting for.
Should we call it?
I think so.
I do not have the time for an after party tonight.
No, neither do I.
So, gentlemen, there will be no after party tonight. I'm sure, however, if you were to talk to Richie Brooks or maybe Brett Harmon, they may fire up a Jitsi window for you guys to get together and have a bit of a banter in. But from me and Owen, there will be no after party tonight. I've got stuff I still need to do in the house, and Owen needs to go and sleep.
Yeah, I've got an appointment with my bed.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss those appointments. They're no fun.
No, I've got another full day landscaping patio laying tomorrow.
Well, you know it's going to be worth it, don't you?
Oh, it will be. It will be.
You've probably added 30 grand to the value of your house.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I'd absolutely hope so, yeah. We'll see. Would you believe, like, it's been so hot today? I reckon I've drunk, shit you not, about 5 litres of water today.
Yeah.
And I still feel dehydrated.
Well, between you, me, and a fence post, I have been so sweaty today with cooking the ribs and building the greenhouse and sorting everything out that before I came onto this podcast, I even had a shower.
Wow.
I cleansed my filthy body for you people.
Yeah, respect.
That's how it is. That's how we roll. So, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's close this one out.
Thank you for listening to the Hop Edition Commercial Pod episode 8 or something. We have really enjoyed our time, and I've really enjoyed that beer. So much so, I'm going to be a cheeky cunt. I'm actually going to take one in the house with me. Because that Nelson beer is a banger. So, thank you very much for listening. And please, if you are not a Patreon and you wish to be, patreon.com/the Hop Edition podcast. Massive thanks to our sponsors, Brewcake Tap. Massive thanks to all of our Patreons. Massive thanks to Owen, because I know that he is dragging his ass right now. And he still jumped on to give us 65 minutes of his time.
Always a pleasure. Never a chore.
I mean, some days it really is.
No. Chatting to you, drinking beer.
Mate,
it's all right.
What more could you want in life?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Take it easy, people. Thank you very much. No after party tonight, I'm afraid. But if you speak to Harmon Brewing or Brewcat Brewing, those guys will let you in. If you're a Patreon and you're on the Discord server, I'm pretty sure they'll throw up a link if there's going to be one. I'm not saying there is or isn't. Other than that, commercial pod in the bag. Thanks very much, guys. Take care.
Night.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Boom.
Right. I'm stopping the stream there, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for joining us. Just a shame that Tricky's poorly and Andy's in another country. But we'll be back soon with some fantastic content. So take care of yourselves, okay? Peace.